Hello and welcome to eChinese Learning Pod, your go-to podcast for learning Chinese and exploring Chinese culture. To protect speakers' privacy and enhance audio quality, some or all voices in this episode are created with AI assistance.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. I'm Lin.
Hey there, I'm Jake. I've been learning Chinese for 3 years now. Glad to be here with you today.
Great to have you here, Jake. Since you've been learning Chinese for 3 years and must have been to China, how did you feel about Chinese dining etiquette when you first arrived? Did you find it challenging?
Definitely challenging. I felt quite awkward at first. There were so many unspoken rules that I didn't know about, and I was worried about making mistakes. That's why I think today's topic is really helpful for other Chinese learners.
I totally get that. Dining is not just about eating in China. It's a reflection of our culture and respect for others. Today, we'll dive into this fascinating part of Chinese culture, dining etiquette. Let's start with the most basic tool we use at the dinner table, chopsticks. There are some important taboos we need to know.
Chopsticks were one of the first things I struggled with, but now I'm much better at using them. What are the biggest mistakes people usually make with chopsticks?
First, never stick chopsticks upright in the rice bowl. It looks like the incense we use in funeral ceremonies, which is very disrespectful. Second, don't wave your chopsticks around in the air or stab food with them. That's considered impolite.
Got it. Those are 2 crucial points. Any other tips about chopsticks when sharing dishes?
Yes. When sharing dishes with others, don't use your own chopsticks to pick food for someone else. Instead, we use gongkuai. It refers to public chopsticks used for picking food from shared plates. It's more hygienic and shows respect to others.
Got it. Public chopsticks. That makes sense. Are there any other useful Chinese phrases related to dining customs?
Absolutely. There's a famous Chinese idiom, 入乡随俗. It means, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. For example, if you're eating at a Chinese friend's home, you should follow their dining habits. It's a great idiom to remember when you're in a different cultural environment.
I love this idiom. It's easy to understand and very practical. I actually tried to follow this when I first came to China.
That's great. That will help you integrate better into the dining atmosphere. Now, let's talk about a common setup in Chinese group dinners, round tables with a rotating plate in the middle. Many Western friends may not be familiar with this, so let's explain the etiquette here.
Yeah, I've seen this a lot in Chinese restaurants. It's convenient for sharing dishes, but I did wonder about the rules at first.
The key rule here is always make sure no one is picking food before you rotate the plate. It's rude to spin it when someone is in the middle of grabbing a dish. Also, don't keep it spinning nonstop. Give everyone a chance to pick the food they want. This is a way to show respect to others at the table.
That's good to know. Should I only pick food that's close to me on the rotating plate?
Usually, yes. It's polite to pick food from the area near you. Another thing, if an elder offers you food with their chopsticks, which is a kind gesture in Chinese culture, you should say, 谢谢,我自己来. It means, thank you, I'll help myself. Saying this shows respect to the elder.
Got it. I actually learned this phrase pretty early because elders often offered me food when I first came to China.
That's smart of you. Now, let's move on to toasting and tea etiquette, which are also important parts of Chinese dining culture.
What about toasting? I know toasting is a big part of Chinese dinners, especially at formal occasions. Are there any specific rules I should follow?
Great question. First, when toasting to an elder or a superior, you should hold your glass lower than theirs. This is a sign of respect. If you're toasting with someone of the same age or status, you can hold your glass at the same level. Also, if you don't drink alcohol, it's totally okay to refuse politely. You can say, 我不喝酒,谢谢. It means, I don't drink alcohol, thank you.
That's a really useful sentence. What if I'm the one being toasted? Do I have to finish the drink?
Not at all. Sincerity matters more than finishing the drink. Taking a sip to show your appreciation is totally acceptable. Chinese people care more about the thought behind the toast rather than forcing others to drink. Now, let's talk about tea etiquette. Tea is often served during Chinese dinners, right?
Yes, I've noticed that. People always refill tea for others. What's the etiquette for that?
If you see a guest's teacup is empty, you should take the initiative to refill it. This is a way to show hospitality. When someone refills tea for you, you can tap the table with your index and middle fingers twice to say thank you. It's a casual and polite gesture, especially when you're in the middle of a conversation and can't speak.
Oh, that's a cool gesture. I've seen people do that before but didn't know what it meant. Now I get it.
It's really practical, right? All right, before we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave our listeners with a key point. You don't have to memorize all these etiquettes perfectly overnight.
Exactly. I totally agree. When I first came to China, I messed up a few small things too, but people were always very understanding. Chinese people are really hospitable. They care more about your sincere and friendly attitude than whether you get every rule right.
That's so true. The most important thing is to enjoy the meal and the company. Thanks for listening to our podcast today. We hope this episode helps you feel more confident about Chinese dining culture.
If you have any questions about Chinese dining culture or other Chinese culture topics, feel free to leave us a message. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Want to practice what you've learned today with a real Chinese teacher? You can get a free one-on-one trial lesson at eChineseLearning.com. That's it for today's episode of eChinese Learning Pod. Thanks for tuning in.